right, welcome back to another episode of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Daily Walk Edition. This is episode number 44. I'm back at Red Morton Park, and it's about 55 degrees. The sun is out. It's a little brisk, but not cold enough for me to put on the jacket. I'll start warming up as I get further on into my walk here. But I'm back today. And I've got a real doozy for you folks today because I'm going to share a personal story. It's actually an update on how I feel regarding a story I've shared before in the past in regards to a previous relationship. I'm going to be taking more ownership of where I went wrong. So that way, you guys out there can learn from my mistakes, and you women can learn as well too, because this video can help both men and women in a similar situation. Okay. But before I get to that, it is the second day of the new year, and I'm feeling pretty good. Things are, beginning to heat up on my channel. It's interesting. I'll mention the number of subscribers I have, even though I'm not showing my subscriber count right now. I have 53 subscribers on my channel. And eventually I'll turn on my subscriber count, probably once I get to over 100 subscribers, and then I'm able to create a custom URL like I had on my previous channel. YouTube requires you to have 100 subscribers to be able to create a custom URL. So looking forward to that. I've been spending a lot of time in a Discord group I've been a part of. And it's the Mad Shangy Discord group, and just to mention something about that group, Mad Shangy is a pretty prominent YouTube content creator out there that hangs around similar communities that I do, primarily communities that discuss male and female relationship dynamics, MGTOW, men going their own way topics, and topics regarding modern-day feminism, etc. He was supposed to do a live stream on New Year's Eve, and it didn't happen, and no one has heard from him since. So hopefully Mad Shangy is okay, and he's doing well wherever he's at. Maybe his computer took a shit. Hopefully he didn't get arrested, or hopefully, he's not injured or hurt or something even worse. I would hate to, hear another sad story, I lost a good friend of mine a few days ago. And then additionally, I did a video on another content creator out here named JB Gunner, who's having health issues as well. And I just don't want to see anything bad happen to anyone else. So hopefully he's doing okay. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and get to the topic of today's Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Daily Walk Edition, episode number 44. And that topic is, topic videos and private personal coaching videos are coming soon. And then after I talk about that, I'm going to be discussing an interesting topic here, and even sharing a personal story of mine that some of you out there that have been following me for a while already know, but I'm going to update you folks on, how I'm feeling now, several months down the road. And that topic is men need to go on the offense when dealing with women. Okay, playing defense gets you dumped. So the topic, one more time, is topic requests and private personal coaching videos are coming soon. And then I'm going to get into the main topic here today, which is, men need to go on offense when dealing with women. Playing defense gets you dumped. Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. So let's start off by discussing, What I mean by topic requests and private personal coaching videos are coming soon. Over the course of the rest of this week, or by early next week, I'm going to be adding a couple more options to my paid coaching services. I received a comment from a subscriber or a follower that mentioned, are you going to be taking topic requests, for a donation, just like Sandman does? Sandman's a prominent MGTOW content creator. Many people have their opinions about him. I do too, but I'm not here to state my opinion. I'm just stating that he's been around for a while and he's been doing a lot of videos in response to people that reach out to him with questions, and they pay him a donation for it. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to be taking specific topic requests on any topic you'd like for me to discuss, and I'm going to charge a measly $19 for them. And those topic requests will be done more than likely within a daily walk video, or if I choose to do so for that particular topic request, it may happen in studio. It all depends on the nature of the request. Somebody might request for me to do a review on someone's video or response video, or they might have a specific topic they want me to discuss in regards to something that they need help with. Okay, now this is different than what I offer for free, where people can actually submit their stories to my video relationship sanctuary for free. Now, anyone can submit any questions, comments, or concerns to my video relationship sanctuary for free at sanctuary@coacheli.com. If you go to my website, coacheli.com, and click on the contact tab, you'll see that email there. When you submit your stories for free to my sanctuary, it does not guarantee that I'm going to do a video response on those emails that you send me. If I feel that those emails you send me are valuable enough for everyone in my entire audience to benefit from, then I will respond to you in a future video for free, okay? Where that way everyone can gain benefit from it, okay? If I feel that, you're asking me something for your own personal benefit, that is something that's going to cost $19. I will do more so of a personalized video. Give me 1 second here. I will do more of a personalized video, but it will still be put out there publicly, in addition to what I do on a daily basis here. So that's the difference right there. Okay? So if you have a topic request that you personally need help with, okay, you'll be able to go to my website. I'll let you know when, that option's available on my website to purchase, and pay $19. And then you just email me the topic and I'll get to it ASAP, typically within a day or two. I'll get to it, depending on the demand. Okay? Now, I'm also going to be offering private, personal coaching videos, in addition to my phone coaching services and my email coaching services. And what is a private, personal coaching video? It will be a video that you can reach out to me and ask me as many questions as you want, and I will respond to you in video format in high quality 1080p. It'll be a response that'll be anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. If it takes a little bit longer, no problem. But it'll be a private video that will only be available for you to see. It will not be uploaded to YouTube. It'll be uploaded to my private web hosting server. And once I'm done recording it and uploading it to my web hosting server, I will send you a private link to download it to your computer or your phone and watch it. And I will leave that link active on my website, because you can even stream it from my website if you have the link, for a week. After a week, I will remove it. So I suggest, if you use this service, that you download the video, and you want to more so download it on a laptop or desktop, because I don't think you want to download a large file onto your smartphone. But as smartphones are getting bigger and better, they have more storage space. That's totally up to you. Okay. That service is going to cost $49. Okay, because there's video involved. There are a lot more steps involved. And so what would be the difference between, using the topic request and using the, private, video coaching service? It would be completely private. It will not be put out on YouTube. It'll be personalized just for you. You can ask me as many questions as you want, and I'll respond to them in a high-quality 1080p HD video for you from my studio. Upload it to my web hosting provider. It'll be private. No one can see it unless they have the link, and I'll only send you the link. The thing on YouTube, if you make a video unlisted, okay, let's say you do a live stream and then you make that live stream unlisted. If someone grabs that unlisted or grabs that video link before you make it unlisted, people with the link can still view it. So that's why this video will be completely private and off of YouTube. So those are going to be two additional services that are coming soon. I just need to add the PayPal buttons and maybe even create a separate page on my website. But that's going to be coming soon. I want to give you folks as many options as possible and make them as affordable as possible for whatever help that you need from me. And I really want to help you folks. I really want to help you in any way possible. I know a lot of these videos, they are very helpful because I share my experiences, and many of you resonate with them, and you can relate to many of the things that I've been through. But for some of you, and for many of you, every situation is unique and different. Okay, everyone's situation is different. Everyone has their own story. So even, for anyone out there, that wants more customized, personalized help, that video option, the private, personal coaching video option would be very beneficial. Okay, so that's that. Enough of that. Let's go ahead and move into the actual topic, because I've got a doozy of a story here. I was thinking about this all morning before I did it, and I was just kind of playing it out in my head and just really feeling the emotion and really, feeling the rage. And even though, after you go through some shit and you get over it and you feel a lot better and you moved on in life, you're still going to feel some rage once you realize that, hey, I could have probably done things differently. I didn't stand up for myself. I was a big fucking pussy. And I shouldn't have been, because I knew better. I knew better, and I still fucked up. There's nothing worse that a man feels, and I'm just speaking from the male perspective now. There's nothing worse that a man feels than when he knew better about how to handle something, but he handled it the wrong way, like a big fucking pussy. And I will admit, even Coach Eli, who has a lot of experience, has handled some situations in that way. Okay? So let's talk about, okay, men need to go on offense when dealing with women. Playing defense gets you dumped. Men need to go on offense when dealing with women. Playing defense gets you dumped. So where did I get the idea to do this topic? Well, I'm going to throw out a shout out to another coach out there that's been on YouTube for about a year now. His name is Coach Mac McCarthy. And I've been kind of following him for a while. You know, I'm subscribed to him. He seems to be a pretty good guy. He's like in his late 30s. And ironically, I believe he said he grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area where I live. And in his 20s, he had a relationship where, you know, he got dumped. And he was begging and pleading his woman back then to take him back. And he basically, you know, did a lot of the same things that I've done in previous relationships after I've been dumped. And, you know, through his life experiences and following other coaches, and through more experience as he's gotten older, he's learned there are better ways to handle things and that he made mistakes just like I did. So, you know, I really like what this guy's message is all about, and I firmly believe one of the main reasons why he decided to become a coach is similar to reasons why I became a coach, because I've been through a lot, and, you know, I want to share my experiences, and he wants to share his experiences that he's been through in an honest and genuine way. So that way he can, you know, do his best to try and help people from going through what he went through. So his outlook on his coaching practice seems to be very similar to mine, and I highly respect that. And he, you know, has also mentioned that after that relationship, he decided to stop being a big fucking pussy, and he said, fuck this, you know, I'm going on offense, and I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to focus on me. I'm going to do things that make me happy. He was saying that, yeah, it still hurt what happened in the past. And it may even still hurt to this day. Look, sometimes, you know, you may never get over a breakup completely, but you get over it enough to the point of where you can move on, live your life, function normally, and make something out of yourself. You know, sometimes you're with someone that made such an impact on you and you had such a strong emotional bond with, even as a man, that, you know, yeah, it still stings after you move past it. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that as long as you handle it the right way and you don't let it completely bring you down. It's perfectly normal, even for men, to feel emotions and have emotional attachments, you know, and to still kind of wonder, you know, what things could have been like if things were different with that particular ex long after the breakup happened. Okay? So, let me just kind of move here. I'm trying to avoid as many people as possible as I normally do, because these topics are pretty sensitive. I don't want people to think I'm weird walking around with this selfie stick. Okay, so let me just move over this way. So what did Mac McCarthy end up doing? I heard this in one of his recent videos, and maybe I'll do a video response to this particular video, or one of his videos, or a couple of them, because I really like what this guy has to say. Okay. He said, you know what? I was in real estate, and in 2008, that's when things started going downhill. I was in it for 3 years, and I was making okay money, but then it took a dump. And had I stuck it out longer, you know, I may have been able to, you know, turn some, you know, connections into some deals and make some money. but it just wasn't worth it, and it affected my relationship, blah, blah, blah. So I decided to leave that industry, and I decided to go into what I was really passionate about, which is teaching. And what did he do? He ended up moving to Thailand, which is where he's at today. He got a job as a teacher, and now he's also doing his coaching business on the side. And he's probably, looking to replace his income with his coaching business, and once that happens, he'll probably end up doing it full time. And he feels a lot better about himself. He's living in Thailand, which is way cheaper than anywhere in the U.S., especially the San Francisco Bay Area, where he used to live and where I still live. Trust me, Thailand probably costs 1/10 of what it costs to live in the San Francisco Bay Area. Oh, man. And you can still run your internet-based business from Thailand and make good money and live like a fucking king. Okay? Now, I don't know, what you have to do to retain citizenship there. I know some other people from the MGTOW community, I believe, were, hanging around Thailand for a while. But I believe if you don't get citizenship there, you have to leave every 30 days for a certain amount of time and then come back. I'm not quite sure how that works, but this guy has been living there for a while now, so he's probably got it all figured out. Maybe I'll reach out to him and ask him how he did it and do another video on that. Okay? But he was saying in this video where, men need to go on the offense and not on defense. You need to take control of your life and not let your ex that broke up with you bring you down to the point of where you can't move on and function. Okay? So, that really resonated with me. He shared some other examples, which I'm not going to share here because I have my own example to discuss. I'm just waiting here because there's a mother with her kids over there, and I don't want to interrupt them. Like, my path is being kind of blocked, so I'm just trying to move around here and, be inconspicuous, not bother anybody. So let me get into my example of where I should have been more on the offense, but instead I played defense. Okay. Now I'm going to refer back to my last relationship. I'm not referring back to it to bash my ex. I'm not trying to bash her. I'm not trying to bash any of her friends or family. Okay. I'm not trying to talk about it because I'm not over it. I've moved past it, but it's a great example. It's the best example, and you're going to understand why in a second. And many of you out there that were following me on my previous channel know this story, and many of you were unhappy on how I handled it and how I was behaving in those days. And I will come out and admit right now and say that I handled it like a big fucking pussy. So let me share this particular situation. Last year, when I was running my YouTube channel, this was like around February of 2018. I was already live streaming, and I was running a bunch of shows. Some of them were impromptu. And it was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday night in February of 2018. I was doing this show, and back then I was not only allowing people to come on my show through Hangouts, I was allowing people to call in through a conference call number. Now, the problem with having the conference call is it was audio only, so you couldn't see any video. But number two, you couldn't identify many times who was on the conference call because you didn't recognize the number on the caller ID, or the caller ID was blocked. So you never knew who was going to be on the conference call when you opened up that line. So I was running a great show, and I had communicated with my ex that I'm going to run a show from about 7 at night until about 10 o'clock. I'm going to end it right at about 10 o'clock. And then we were going to have our nightly phone call. My ex and I, when we were not seeing each other during the week, we would see each other on weekends. I'd go up to see her on Friday nights through the weekend, and then come back Monday afternoon to my place. Okay. We had a phone call typically scheduled around 9:30, because she liked to go to bed by 10:30 or so. But this particular night I was doing a stream, and it was going to last till about 10 o'clock. So we had a 10 o'clock scheduled phone call. Now, these phone calls were her idea, because she had always told me back then that when we're not seeing each other during the week, she likes to stay in touch and to feel close. And that phone call at night before we go to bed, me go to bed at my place and her go to bed at her place, makes her feel connected. And I agree with her. That's cool. But she would initiate it. She wanted that. I never pushed it. It was her idea, which is great. Because as a man, you never want to, you wouldn't want to say, hey, babe, let's talk every single night. I really want to keep in touch with you, this and that. It's not masculine energy. But if the woman wants that, no problem. Okay? So I loved it. I loved it. It was great. Now, on this particular live stream, okay, it was going pretty well. There was a great topic. I don't remember what it was exactly. But then I let somebody on from the MGTOW community, and this person started going absolutely crazy, started talking a bunch of shit, started just really getting all whacked out. I'm not going to mention his name. But he's somebody that's still around today, and I'm going to just leave it at that. And then I noticed there was another call waiting in the queue of the conference call. And it was a number with a Bay Area, a San Francisco Bay Area code. So what did I do? I was like, who the fuck could this be? Calling locally? I did a Google search on the number, and I found out the person that was waiting on hold was, my girlfriend at the time. It was one of her closest friends, who so happens to be a gay male, a gay man. No disrespect. I'm going to be referring to this person as a gay man throughout this, because that's what he is. No disrespect. Okay? It'll all make sense here in just a second, and many of you probably remember this story, but I have some different opinions about it right now, and I'm going to share that. I'm going to be honest, okay? So this was, my girlfriend at the time, one of her closest friends, and I had met this guy before. We were Facebook friends, and I knew how he was. I knew that they were very close, because my girlfriend at the time had told me that, he was really there for her when she was going through her divorce. She was able to confide in him, and he was just the most supportive person throughout the whole thing. So I could kind of tell that they had built this emotional bond, this very strong emotional bond. And I didn't think too much about it initially until this situation happened. Where I learned a lot more about, how strong this emotional bond really was, which I'll share more about that in just a second here. So when I found out it was him, and I knew that this person really, cares about my ex, he's been there for her during tough times, including her, divorce in the past, I was kind of leery about letting him on, because I didn't know what he was going to say. I didn't know, why he was calling in. And, people, back then were asking, how did he find out about my channel? Well, I was sharing my channel link everywhere. I posted it on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere. So, he saw my channel link and my request for people to subscribe to me back in those days, and he subscribed to me. And he just so happened to be, online that day, and basically saw the live show and wanted to come on and check it out and see what I was doing. Because him and I, we had met each other before. My girlfriend at the time would, invite me to tag along and hang out with this gay man, and he's married, his husband, and one of her other friends. We would go and hang out at their place every so often. And, I hung out with them and it was all good. But again, I also knew, you know, how strong of a bond that my girlfriend at the time had with this gay man. So again, I was leery about, letting him on. Let's see, how far have we gone so far? Give me 1 second here. 30 minutes. Okay, we're good. We're good. But anyway, I decided to let him on because I didn't want him to think that I was trying to avoid his call or not taking calls. Or I didn't want to give him the idea that I was trying to avoid him coming on for any reason. Okay? So I let him on. He came on and he said, "Hello, Eli, how are you doing?" I said, "Good." I'm not going to mention his name. Some of you know his name because I did mention it in the past. I've taken all those streams down. I want to make it very clear to anyone that remembers his name, my ex's name, or mentions any names in regards to this story within the comments will be deleted immediately. And if you continue to do it, I will ban you. So be respectful. Okay? I know many of you know the names. I want to keep it out. I want to keep the names out of here. This is for example purposes. Okay? So he said, "Hello, Eli." And I said, "Hello," and called him by his name. He said, "What's really going on here? I've been listening to your show for a while, and I'm not really quite sure what the purpose is. And you've got this guy going crazy and this and that and talking all this stuff and this and that, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "You know what, man? Yeah, I didn't expect that to happen. You never know who's going to call in. I'm trying to find a better way to run this. I did not expect that to happen." And then he ended up saying something that was a big, big game changer in how I felt about him. And this totally started changing my relationship with my ex. He said, "You know what, Eli? The woman you're dating," and he mentioned her name, "is a very close friend of mine that is very near and dear to my heart, and I care for her very deeply." In that tone of voice. And when I heard him say that publicly, live on the air on my stream, I felt like he was trying to be like Big Brother, trying to send me a message saying, "You better watch it because I'm on your ass. And I'm protecting my friend that you so happen to be dating. And if you don't cut this shit out, I'm going to make your life miserable because I have a lot of influence on her. And I can make your life miserable." That's how I interpreted it. Okay? I didn't react to it that way because I didn't want to react that way. I sat there and took it like a good boy. Okay? Which is a big mistake I made because what I should have said was, "You know what, man? This is not the right place to talk about this. Maybe you should have reached out to me privately. Why don't we end this right now? Why don't we end this right now and just talk privately?" But no, he came live on the air publicly and told me that. And I'll be honest with you, I took it as a threat. I played it off like I didn't take it as a threat. And I'll tell you why. Because the moment he came on, I sent a text to my girlfriend at the time and said, "Hey, your friend is live on the air with me right now." So she tuned in and she was listening to this and watching this live on YouTube. And then this gay man that's friends with my ex, who was my current at the time, he kept on saying, "You're better than this, Eli. I know you're better than this." He came on there, and I understand that maybe his intentions were pure, okay? Somewhat pure. Maybe they were primarily pure. But you don't do that to somebody publicly. You don't embarrass somebody in that way. And you don't come on to somebody's stream and pretty much say that, "Hey, the woman that you're seeing, that you're dating," mention her name, and then say, "is a very close friend of mine that is near and dear to my heart," and not make me feel like you're trying to send me a message. You flat out disrespected me. You flat out embarrassed me live publicly on my show. Now, if you were unhappy with what was happening on my show, which had nothing to do with your friend that I so happened to be dating at the time, then you tune away and you reach out to me privately and you call me privately and we talk about it, but you did not do that. At that point, I started losing a lot of respect for this person because I would never do that to anybody. I would never fucking do that to anybody. But you know what? I was like, okay, whatever. And throughout this, I was texting my girlfriend at the time, who's now my ex, and saying, yeah, we're almost done. I'm going to get off the air and we'll talk at 10 o'clock. So what happened next? At 10 o'clock, 10 p.m., I ended the show. A few minutes before that, this guy, left the conference call. And then I tried calling my girlfriend at the time. The phone went to voicemail. That was odd because it never went to voicemail when we had a planned call like that on nights where we weren't seeing each other. She would always pick up within a few rings. Now, I didn't expect that, but that was just a pattern. So I expected the same fucking pattern. And I never like to call back twice, but maybe I was thinking, okay, maybe she's in the bathroom. Maybe, one of her kids was asking her for something and she was away from her phone. I called the second time. Immediately afterwards, got voicemail. She then sent me a text saying, I'm on the other line. I'll give you a call when I'm done. Should be around, 10:30 or so. And I texted her back and said, let me guess, you're on the phone with your friend who happens to be this gay male. Again, no disrespect. He just happens to be a man that is gay. So we're going to refer to him as a gay male. Okay? And she said, yes. 10:30 came. She called me. And I told her, I said, you know what? I don't really appreciate what your friend did coming on the air and saying what he said. I don't appreciate him saying that the woman that I'm seeing, and then he mentions your name, is a very near and dear friend of mine, that is very near and dear to my heart. So, something like that, something of that sort. I said, I kind of felt like that was a threat. And she goes, oh, no, it wasn't a threat. He's just trying to be helpful. He's just trying to be helpful. And this, she made like every fucking excuse in the book. She put this guy on a fucking pedestal. Like she made every fucking excuse to dismiss what I was saying. She didn't even take any of my fucking feelings into consideration regarding that. I don't think she did it on purpose. I think what ended up happening is that because of what she went through in her previous marriage and how, much this guy did for her during those days to be there for her, okay? She built this unbreakable emotional bond with him to the point of where that emotional bond with him, I started thinking at that point, is and was much stronger than our emotional bond was when things were at the best between her and I. So when things between her and I were at their best, and she was saying that we have a very strong emotional bond, it was obvious to me that the emotional bond with this gay male friend was stronger. So how the fuck am I going to compete with that? And is that right for her to, weigh, his opinions and his response and to value his emotional bond with her higher than the man that not only she's sleeping with, but spending time with, going on getaway trips with, going to dinners with, being in a relationship with. I started to wonder, I'm like, wow, she's valuing his emotional bond as a friend at a higher level than our emotional bond, even when times were good between her and I. It's almost like I never stood a fucking chance, no matter what I did. And I started to realize that. And I told her, I said, look, I don't appreciate that. He should have called me privately, you know, like, you know, I don't appreciate you taking his, call over me in regards to an issue that maybe you have with me. If he had an issue with me, he should come to me and not come to you. Okay? And if you have an issue with me, you come to me. Shoot, I just fucking, pardon me, I just hit my microphone here. I'm hoping this is still recording. I think it still is. Give me a second. The story is like the story of my life right here. This is like the story of my last relationship. This is where I really think things started heading south. Okay? Let me make sure that you can hear me here. All right. So at this point, I was on the phone going back and forth with my ex, trying to stand up for myself, trying to get her to understand that I don't appreciate the fact that you took his call over a scheduled call that we had. And I also told her, I said, look, I'm not trying to tell you, who to be friends with and who to not be friends with. And I'm not trying to tell you when you can or can't call your friends, or, I'm not trying to tell you that you have to call me over him. But what I'm saying is that, when you're dating somebody and you have a scheduled phone call and you look forward to talking with them, and that's the way the pattern has been, every single time when we're not together on any particular night, and you break that pattern to talk to him, it's obviously because you're valuing what he's saying more than me in regards to something that involves me, where he should have reached out to me, okay? And then maybe say, hey, look, you know what? I'm really concerned about my friend that you're dating. I wanted to reach out to you first and give you this courtesy, because I don't think this is good for you or for her. Now, I'd rather let you know about this than go behind your back and do this. Would you like to be involved? Do you want to do a three-way call? Or do you want to get together and talk about this? And I would have been fine by that. But what did he do? He called her right after the fucking show. He went behind my back. He cucked me. He cucked me. I'm going to come out here and admit to everyone out there that I got cucked by this gay man. Now, once again, no disrespect that he's gay. I'm just saying that because he's a man that happens to be gay, and quite frankly, a lot of women nowadays befriend gay men. A lot of straight women befriend gay men because they trust gay men to be great friends. A gay male friend is like a gay male girlfriend. A gay male friend is like having a female friend on steroids, because they are a man and they do have a penis. And they do understand how to be a man, but they typically will exude more feminine and nurturing qualities and protective qualities in situations like these than a straight man would. Okay? So, and I'm sorry, folks. Thinking back, it does make me a little emotional to talk about this, because I'm more so unhappy at how I handled this by going on the defense than being on the offense and standing up for myself. So yeah, I was telling her on the phone, I was like, I'm not trying to tell you when to call him or when to not call him, or when to hang out with him and when not to hang out with him. But what I'm saying is that if you're going to prioritize him emotionally over me, then you know what? I have an issue with that. I try to tell her that. She goes, no, it's not like that. He's just trying to be. So she downplayed it. I was trying to do the right thing, but she downplayed it, and then I let off. That was my problem. I let off, and I let it fucking go. So basically, I didn't stand my ground. What I should have fucking done that night is say, hey, look, I don't think you get it. I don't feel good about this. And if you're not willing to understand how I feel about this right now, then let's end this relationship right now. I'm a good man. I've been there for your family, for your kids. I've done all these nice things for you. I've helped you out. And you are devaluing me in this situation. You are placing your friend, who happens to be a gay male, you are placing him far above what you're placing me. And I don't like that, because here's the thing. Okay? When I'm in a relationship with somebody, if you're dating somebody in a committed relationship or you're married to somebody, they are your number one priority, and you put them above everyone else with the exception of your immediate family. The only person I would not, the only people I would put above someone I'm seeing is my mother or my brother. Besides that, it's her. So I would never place any of my fucking friends above somebody that I'm in a committed relationship with or married to, that I'm sleeping with. I would never put any of my friends above her. She put this guy above me and was trying to down fucking play it. And I think she did it because she didn't want to, upset him because of the bond they've created back in the days of when he was there for her in regards to, her going through a divorce. It's kind of sad. And I don't think she even realizes that to this day. No disrespect if you're watching this video. No disrespect, but you need to fucking realize it. You need to realize what you did. I'm not saying that I was perfect and didn't make mistakes, and I'm not saying that this is the only reason why we split up, but this was the main reason. I didn't stand up for myself. I should have walked away. I should have gone on the offense and said, you know what? Apparently, you don't want to understand where I'm coming from, and you're completely taking your friend's side on something that's bullshit. Where he came live on the air, he basically, showed me up on the air. He basically embarrassed me on the air on my show. And then, instead of contacting me privately afterwards, he contacts you. And instead of you taking my call that was already scheduled, you took his call and then told me to wait. I should have walked away from you right then and there. I should have gone on the offense and walked away and said, you know what? I didn't sign up for this shit. I didn't sign up to be that disrespected. I didn't sign up, to not be appreciated. You disrespected me in that situation. Okay? And you probably still don't get it to this day. Maybe one day you will. But I let it go. I let it fucking go. And maybe you'll see a little rage in me right now because the last part of this video is going to be, well, what happened after that? This was like on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it was a Wednesday, 2 days before I was going to go and see her for the weekend. A couple days later, I drove up to see her on a Friday night like I normally would. And I got there, things were all good, and we had plans to go to her parents' place for dinner. And on our way to her parents' place, the thought of what happened between her gay male friend a few days before and how she handled it was still like bugging me. It was pissing me off. So I started talking with her about it. I started telling her, I said, you know what? I got to be honest with you. I'm still feeling bad about what happened the other night. I feel it's been unresolved. I feel that your friend was out of line. And it's not fair, for you to sit there and completely take his side because you know him longer, blah, blah, blah. I started telling her how I felt about it. I stood up for myself. And what happened when I was standing up for myself on something that was totally true? She started getting very emotional. She started getting very upset, started getting pissed off at me. I told her, I'm not trying to piss you off. I'm just telling you how I feel. This is how you handled it. She got very emotional. And she told me to stop talking about it. Okay? And I told her, I said, you know what? Do you want me to just take you home? and call it a night. And she said, if that's what you want to do, that's up to you. I said, because I just don't feel good about this. But what ended up happening? I appeased her. I said, okay, let's just go to your parents for dinner, and we'll talk about it another time. And we never did. So what did I do? I kind of tried to go on the offense, but she kept shutting me down, so I went on defense. And I ended up playing more defense because of the fact that she kept shutting me down and didn't want to hear my side. She wasn't open to hearing my side. She was completely fixated on the fact of what her friend, her gay male friend, had said. She never once apologized to me, for what happened. And she probably doesn't even feel the need to apologize to me when she doesn't even realize how disrespectful not only the things that he did to me live on the air were, but how she treated me when I was talking with her about it. I was disrespected. I was unappreciated. I was silenced. All for just trying to speak the truth. All because I did a live stream and, it started off good, but it ended up going sour because I let somebody on from the conference call number that I couldn't identify, and he started going a bit crazy. So my girlfriend's gay male friend at the time calls in and basically just starts belittling me on my own show. And I'm supposed to sit there and put up with that. That's the story, folks. I'll tell you this. I'm not bitter about it. I'm just sharing the story, and I'm showing my frustration. I'm showing my rage and passion because I knew better. I knew how to handle it better, but I didn't handle it that way. What I should have done, even that Friday night when I drove up and I tried to talk with her about it on our way to her parents' place for dinner, and she got mad at me, I should have dropped her ass off at home and gone back to my place and walked. I should have walked. I had 2 chances to walk and teach her a fucking lesson. To never disrespect a good man that actually cares about you and has done a lot of good shit for you. And had I done that, she would have probably realized what happened and maybe a day or 2 later call me and apologize, and she would have learned her fucking lesson. But what did I do? By letting it go and going to the defense, I taught her the wrong behavior. I taught her that, hey, it's okay for you to treat your man in that way. And it's not. It's not. It's absolutely not. Okay. So I will come out here and admit as I wrap up this video here, how far have we gone? Let me see here. I can't even see because it's 53 minutes. I will come out here and admit to all you guys out there, and this is the reason why I feel many of you lost respect for me. And you know what? Had I known better, I would have said I wasn't respecting myself back then. When I look back at how I handled this back then and how I was presenting it to you folks on my former channel, okay, I had no respect for myself. I had no fucking balls. I might as well have handed in my fucking testicles. Because here's the thing, for the most part, in my last relationship, I was a man and I stood up for myself and I stood my ground. The only time where I couldn't do it was because it was due to the fact that when her gay male friend got involved in our relationship, she allowed him to get involved and get in the middle of our relationship, and she prioritized what he said and the emotional bond between her and him over what I had to say and the emotional bond between her and I. She made a choice. I think it was subconsciously done. It wasn't consciously done. I think it was subconsciously done, because if it was on her conscience, then she would have known better that you never fucking put a friend and they're in your emotional bond with your friend above a man that you're dating, where you should have the highest emotional bond with him, with the exception of maybe your immediate family, like your parents and your brothers or sisters, right? It was on her subconscious. She didn't know any better. So yes, I will come out and admit, when you guys back then were saying that you got cucked by a gay man, and I'm not saying gay man to be disrespectful. He just so happens to be a man that's gay. Okay? When you guys were saying I got cucked by a gay man, I'll come out and admit I got cucked by a gay man. I did. Okay? And maybe I'll earn your respect back, guys, that disrespected me because I wasn't being true to myself. I was being a big fucking pussy. That was the only time I was a big fucking pussy in that relationship. Every other moment that something came up, I handled it like a fucking man. But when her gay male friend got involved, because I knew how much influence he had on her at the beginning of our relationship, once he got involved, I knew I was fucked. There was nothing I could do. There was nothing I could fucking do. Because I knew their emotional bond was super strong, because she had told me about this guy when we first started dating. Lots of people turning in the park. Like 4 cars just turned into the park here. I got cucked by a gay man who is like a gay male girlfriend to my ex. No disrespect. That's just what happened. Now, you may be asking me, do you feel being cucked by a gay man is worse than being cucked by a straight man? And I'm going to say being cucked at all is bad. Okay? And I'm not sitting here, trying to be disrespectful to the gay community. I respect the gay community, but yes, it does affect me more that I got cucked by a gay man. I'll tell you why, because a gay man is not sleeping with your woman. Okay? Getting cucked by a straight man that may be banging your woman behind your back, okay, is something that's a little bit more understood. If you got cucked like that, that's real authentic cucking. But to get cucked by a gay man and have it be the start of the demise of your relationship, it was a shitty fucking feeling. No disrespect to the fact that he's gay, but I think you understand what I'm saying. I felt like my ex valued her gay friendship more than a straight man that she's with. How would you feel if you're in my shoes? How would you feel if you were in my shoes? Seriously. I know I need to wrap up this video here. And I will just say this. Okay? This was a big lesson learned. And to all you men out there that are in a similar situation, you need to stand up for yourself. If something feels wrong, if something doesn't feel right, you need to go on the offense and call your woman out. Now, never ever beat a woman, never touch a woman, never yell at a woman, but you got to talk with her about it. She's probably going to yell at you, but you got to keep your cool. And you got to give her a chance to make it right. And if you give her a few chances to make it right, like I gave this particular ex when I was with her in this situation I just mentioned, and she doesn't want to make it right, then you have to walk away. I should have fucking walked away. I had 2 chances to walk away and teach her a lesson, which would have probably saved our relationship. I'm not saying it would have saved our relationship 100%, but I'll tell you, it's funny how this happened in February of 2018, and 5 months later, we're no longer together. And you can't sit here and expect me to believe that, this friend of hers, this gay male friend of hers, didn't have any influence at all in her final decision to break it up with me, I won't buy that for a second. Okay? I'm not a perfect man. I make mistakes. And this whole thing could have been prevented. And a great relationship could have kept moving forward. Okay? Because I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not trying to dwell over my past. I really cared about this woman. I really wanted to have a life with her. I accepted everything about her. She has 2 teenage daughters. She has 2 great parents. I accepted everything. Okay? A lot of people will say that, dating single moms has a lot of baggage. There's a lot of truth to that. But you know what? I accepted all of the baggage that came with her, including her gay male friend, which I'm not considering baggage. I accepted everything about her, and I was good to her. I was good to her kids. I was good to her family. Now, yes, I kept a few things from her. You can call them white lies or insecurities, which I know are a turnoff to women. But these were things that could have easily been fixed. I never did one thing to hurt this woman. I never physically, mentally, or emotionally abused her. I never cheated on her. I was good to her. And let me tell you this, okay? It's very difficult nowadays for a woman in her position to find a half-decent man that'll do even half of what I did. And that's what I don't understand the most, because most men out there, decent men like myself, decent-looking men, men that make decent money, that take care of themselves, would not want to be with somebody like that. No disrespect. They just see it as baggage. I didn't. I accepted her for who she was. I still think to this day that she's a good woman. I still think there's a lot of greatness from her. But until she snaps out of it and realizes that, hey, you know what? You shouldn't let your friends influence you on how you feel, especially one of your friends that's pretty much, and I'm going to come out and say it, I'm sure this guy still has a lot of influence on her. You shouldn't let one person like that influence how you want to live your life. She's going to probably say, if she even sees this, I doubt it, but let's say she does see this, she's probably going to say that, oh, I never let him influence me. Don't bullshit me. Actually, you know what? If you can go ahead and bullshit me, ex-girlfriend, but don't bullshit yourself. Don't bullshit yourself. You had something good. You had something good. And you decided to throw it away over a bunch of bullshit that could have been worked through, including the situation I mentioned. So guys, stand up for yourself. Okay? Stand up for yourself. Go on the offense. Don't be on the defense and just conform in situations like the one I just mentioned, because if not, it's going to end up being your demise. If you have to walk away because something doesn't feel right, like it didn't feel right for me in the situation that I mentioned a little bit ago here in the story I shared, where I should have walked away, walk away. Walk away at that point and teach your partner a lesson and show them how valuable you are and show them how it would be without you. I didn't fucking do that. I pretty much did most of everything else right in that relationship, but I fucked up right there. I fucked up right there, and look what happened to me. I lost. I got dumped 5 months later because I was playing on the defense. Even one time, I was playing offense the majority of the time in that 1.5-year relationship. And the one time I went on defense, look how I paid. Stand up for yourself. If something doesn't feel right, move away from it. Let it go. Okay? Because if it was meant to be and you walk away when it doesn't feel right, she'll chase you down and apologize to you. And if you walk away, she doesn't come back, then you know her true intentions and you won't want her anyway. And that's where I'm going to end this video today. Hope you all understand a little bit more about what happened to me and how I hope most men out there can start respecting themselves more in today's modern world by going on the offense and standing up for themselves and not kissing a woman's ass to conform to her wants and needs just to appease her. If something doesn't feel right, walk away from it. There are plenty of fish in the sea. You want to be with someone that respects you as much as you're going to respect them. And if they're disrespecting you, get fucking rid of them. That's where I'm going to end this video today. Have a good one, folks. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.